Hey guys, Will here, how's it going? And today I'm going to be showing you how I make my thumbnails. I've actually wanted to do this video for a really long time, but I kept putting it off. Other videos just kept taking priority, but when I woke up today, I just said, no, I'm gonna sit down and make this video. So because of my personal style of thumbnail, which is like a really high resolution photo of something, say this keyboard right here, I might take a high resolution photo of this. Then I'll like crop and grade it in Lightroom, I'll export it, and that is the thumbnail done. I don't really mess around with Photoshop for my thumbnails. I see some people who do amazing like graphic design thumbnails in Photoshop. That's not my personal style. Respect to you if you do that, but that's just not my style. I do occasionally use Photoshop for my thumbnails if there's like some major error that I need to fix, or if I want to add some text, like I know in the Nokia versus DSLR video, that had some text on the thumbnail that I did in Lightroom, but most of the time, I simply just use a really high resolution photo and use that as my thumbnail. Right, so without further ado, I will hop onto Lightroom and I will show you exactly how I make my thumbnails. Okay, so now we're in Lightroom. You may actually remember this thumbnail from a couple of videos back. Here we got the magic mouse and we got this nice reflection. We have my hand here. And the first thing I'll always do is I'll crop it to 16:9 because that's the default thumbnail resolution for YouTube. After this, I just frame it up. I want to keep that reflection, but I also want to make sure the mouse is in the correct position. This looks good. Then I just hit enter and it's cropped. Next, I do my lens corrections. So I just select the lens I shot it on. It got it automatically, the 17-40L. So this is before the lens corrections, and this is with the lens corrections enabled. So as you can see in the corners, that's a pretty big difference. So next we use a preset. For this one, I actually use Red Crush. This is one of Peter McKinnon's, and there we go. Now, obviously the skin tones look terrible. The mouse looks way too blue, and it's a little bit dark. So the first thing I do is I'll bump up that exposure a little bit till it's about right. That looks about right. I'm just gonna drag up the highlights a tad because this very much crushes them. So I think that looks good. Next, all of the rest of this is fine. The white balance is a little bit cold, so I'll warm this up a tad. There we go. I personally think that looks good. I'm going to get rid of that tint. Okay, so now the tint's gone, we're actually going to head over to the HSL. The first thing I do is the hue. The orange is just a little bit too red, so I'm going to drag that down until it looks more natural. There we go. The reds look good to my eyes, so does pretty much everything else. I'm going to drag that magenta down again a little bit because this is a very red intensive preset. So next we get over to the saturation. I'm actually going to resaturate the orange a tad again, a little bit with the red, just a touch with the red. The greens look great. It's a very crushed green look. Everything else looks fine. And at this point, it is just fine tuning. So I'm going to turn the vibrance down a little bit, and I'm going to turn the saturation up a little bit. And now we can see in the fingertips, we need to just go a little bit back down again with the reds. There we go. I would say that's perfect. But what else would I use in Lightroom while I'm making a thumbnail? Well, sometimes there'll be something here I don't want. For example, let's take this raindrop. I like it in this thumbnail, so I left it in the real one, but we're just going to remove it for the sake of the video. Yeah, see, there we go. It managed to completely get rid of it. That looks amazing. So the next thing I do is to export the thumbnail. Now, I have some very specific settings. We might call this Apple Mouse Thumb. That's the actual name, so I'm going to call it Apple Mouse Thumb 2. These are my settings because I've found Lightroom actually renders it 3 pixels short in the height, so I just add that back on, so it's 3840 by 2160, which is just the UHD 4K standard. Resolution is 240, that's pretty basic. I use JPEG as my codec, and I love this feature where you can limit your file size to 2 megabytes because that's the YouTube maximum, so this is just a nice thing to have. After this, I just click export. Lightroom will export the file, and then I will have my thumbnail all ready to go. Alright guys, so thank you for watching. Remember to like the video if you want to see more content like this, and smash the subscribe button. I'm trying to hit 10K by June the 1st, so every single subscription is massively appreciated. I appreciate everybody who joins me on this journey. As I said in my last video, I'm going to be uploading like crazy in May, but for now, I am done, and I will see you guys in the next video.